Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'll be reviewing the Pimsleur Spanish program. I'll cover pricing, how the Pimsleur program is structured, what the lessons are all about, and of course, what I like and what I don't like. So if you keep an open mind and stick with me to the end, this video should be all you need to figure out whether Pimsleur is the right choice for you to learn Spanish. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Okay, welcome back. I should mention up front here that since I'll just be focusing on the big ticket items in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review on our website. The easiest way to find that is just to Google Test Prep Insight Pimsleur Spanish Review. Alright, so let's kick this review off with pricing. So Pimsleur offers two subscription models. The first is Pimsleur Premium, which gives you access to their Spanish program for $20 per month. And then there's the Pimsleur All Access, which gives you access to over 50 languages for only $1 more per month. So if you stack this up against competitors like Rosetta, Stone, and Babbel, Pimsleur is more expensive by around $5 to $10 or so per month on average. So overall, Pimsleur definitely isn't the cheapest Spanish program out there, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still pretty darn affordable. Of course, I should also mention that your Pimsleur subscription does come with a 7-day trial period, so you can always test the waters before fully committing. In addition, Pimsleur does offer deals and special promos from time to time, so be sure to check out the description below for coupon codes. I'll drop any current discounts I can find down there for you. And by the way, we work really hard to produce honest and helpful content, all totally free, so if Pimsleur does end up being the right choice for you, we'd really appreciate it if you would use those links listed down below in the description. That's how you can support us and keep our channel going. And if it turns out that Pimsleur isn't a great fit for you, no problem at all. It doesn't matter to me what language learning program you select. We have a ton of other helpful reviews that you can check out. Okay, so now that we have pricing out of the way, let's dive into the meat and potatoes of this review, my evaluation of the actual Pimsleur Spanish program. And let's start with how it's structured. So essentially there are 5 different levels, and each level contains 30 lessons. And each lesson is comprised of a 30-minute audio exercise and a variety of review drills. So that's it from a 10,000-foot view. You have 5 levels, 30 lessons per level, and each lesson takes around 1 hour to fully complete. Okay, so now that you know how the program is structured, let's dive into what the lessons themselves are actually like. So to start each lesson, you complete a 30-minute audio exercise where a moderator speaking in English walks you through a Spanish conversation step by step. You'll listen to a few sentences in Spanish, then the moderator will stop to explain the situation to you. Then he'll ask you questions and have you engage and participate. So essentially, think of this exercise as a guided conversation. That's really the gist of it. And as you move up levels, the English moderator starts to phase out more and more as you get more familiar with the language. And then after the audio lesson, you then review what you just learned through a variety of drills and exercises. This includes reading drills, flashcards, quizzes, pronunciation training, and speed games. Each drill or exercise takes around 5 to 10 minutes to complete, so in total, you're looking at around an hour to complete the audio lessons plus all the drills. Also, each lesson covers different skills and topics such as food, weather, travel, and business. And as you complete each lesson, you gain skills badges to help you track what you just learned, which you can then review anytime under the skills section from the dashboard if you want a quick refresher. And the nice thing with Pimsleur is that you can jump around from level to level or lesson to lesson. You're not forced to follow a strict agenda. And by the way, if you want to see some examples of the Pimsleur drills and exercises, be sure to check out our full review. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there for you to get a feel for what to expect. Alright, so now that I've covered cost and you know what the lessons are all about, let's get into what I like and what I don't like about Pimsleur after thoroughly testing this program. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description. It'll take you less than 10 seconds, and hey, you never know. You could win a free subscription to the Pimsleur Spanish program. Alright, let's start with the 4 things that I really like about Pimsleur. And number 1 has to be the learning method that forms the framework for their lessons, which is really just a variation of the popular spaced repetition system at the end of the day. So essentially, this method is all about intervals. You know, the periods between each time a word or phrase is recalled. It starts with high-frequency recall, think seconds and minutes, and then gradually moves up to days and weeks. So as you complete Pimsleur lessons, you'll hear a word or phrase introduced for the first time, and then seconds later, you'll be asked to recall it. Then minutes later, then days later. Now, whereas the traditional spaced repetition learning system primarily relies on memorization, in other words, just listening or reading at spaced intervals, the Pimsleur learning method is unique in that the lessons put pressure on you to recall and participate in an actual exchange. So instead of just listening or reading a word or phrase and then remembering it, the Pimsleur audio lessons ask you how to say words or phrases and respond to a native speaker. And the great thing about this is that it keeps you from becoming a passive listener. You're actively involved in what you're listening to, and the moderator of the lessons keeps you on your toes since you need to respond at various intervals. In my opinion, this active participation is powerful at getting you to recall and use the language just as you would in real-life situations. So overall, I have to give props to Paul Pimsleur and the system he helped develop. I love the spin he added to the traditional spaced repetition learning system. Okay, number 2. Besides the learning method behind the audio lessons, I like the fact that you can complete these lessons while you're exercising, cleaning your house, taking your dog for a walk, etc. It's just nice that you don't have to be glued to your computer or phone at all times. The Pimsleur mobile app even comes with a special driving mode that you can activate so you can learn and knock out your lessons during your commute. Alright, number 3. I like that within the audio lessons there is an English-speaking moderator to keep you organized and engaged and keep the lessons moving along in a timely manner. Now, I know some companies out there like Rosetta Stone believe 100% immersion, no English is the way to go. But in my experience, I've found that limited use of English for directions and translations can definitely be helpful. I mean, let's face it, we live in an age of instant gratification. We're all used to having that convenience of having the answer right at our fingertips. So at the end of the day, I can see the English argument both ways, but I ultimately just appreciate the small use of English to help combat any building frustration and keep the lessons moving along. And last up, number 4. I was impressed with the Pimsleur digital platform and user experience across desktop and their mobile app. It's professional and sleek, it's quick and snappy, everything is laid out in a logical manner, and it's just super easy to use. I had no complaints whatsoever, and I don't think you will either. Now, switching sides to the things I don't like. Number 1. While there are certainly advantages to the Pimsleur audio lessons, there are a couple negatives as well. Namely, the lessons just move a little slowly. Yes, the moderator does keep you engaged by asking you questions, but there's no denying that around the 15 or 20 minute mark of each lesson, your mind might start to wander. It would just be nice if Pimsleur would maybe sprinkle in 1 to 2 minute quick hit drills or even rapid fire verbal exercises during the middle of the audio lesson just to switch things up and add a little variety. Still, I may be grasping at straws here because, as I mentioned earlier, overall I found the audio lessons to be pretty darn effective for language retention. This is just me asking Pimsleur to take their lessons from, say, an A- to an A+. Okay, number 2. While I do like that Pimsleur places a heavy emphasis on output, meaning actually speaking and talking, the company doesn't employ any voice recognition technology like Babbel or Rosetta Stone. So while you're practicing your verbal skills during the audio lessons, there's no technology listening to ensure you're saying words and phrases correctly. So for all you know, you might be pronouncing the word la bibora incorrectly. Now, to be fair, the moderator and the fluent speakers within the lessons repeat themselves multiple times, so the chances of you mispronouncing words over and over again are pretty slim. Plus, it's not like the voice recognition technology that Rosetta Stone or Babbel employ are perfect anyways. They definitely have flaws at the end of the day. I guess the bottom line here is that there's really no substitute for talking with an actual human being. That's the best practice you can get. Alright, number 3. Since the lessons are so audio heavy, they might not be the best option for visual learners. Besides the drills after the core lessons, there's really no chance for you to see or read the words or phrases, which may be problematic for some. There are people out there who learn best by seeing and understanding how each word is spelled. And then when they're asked to recall it, they picture the spelling of the word. It's just how some people learn and retain new words. Again, this all comes down to personal preference. Because really, the Pimsleur lessons do have a visual component to them, just not in the traditional manner that you're used to. The Pimsleur lessons rely more on mental imagery than visual reading. You're asked to imagine scenarios and situations, and the native actors speak the words one syllable at a time, which gets you to picture and focus on each individual syllable. It's sort of the same concept, just in a different way. So ultimately, this boils down to what type of learner you are. It may not be a big deal, or it may. It just depends. Okay, last up here, as you might imagine, given how much emphasis Pimsleur places on listening and speaking, its lessons are a little light on the grammar and writing side. And for some people, this may be an issue. But in my opinion, I don't think it is. After all, languages are not written, they're spoken. Sometimes when there's too much emphasis on grammar and writing during the early stages of language acquisition, it can do more harm than good. I think it's more important to focus on what you hear first and then worry about the rules later. Doing so is just more of a natural way to learn, and it also helps with your pronunciation. I mean, think about when you were just a toddler learning English. You weren't sitting there reading dense grammar books. You were listening to your parents talk and learning how to say words first. Then you circled back to grammar rules and writing as you got older in grade school. So from that perspective, I do think Pimsleur has their priorities right, even though some might gripe that there's not enough grammar instruction throughout the lessons. Okay, that about does it for this review. I hope it's been helpful. All in all, I'm a big fan of the Pimsleur Spanish program. I think the learning framework that forms the backbone of the program is highly effective. I love the audio lessons that track real native speaking conversations, and the fact that it gets you to participate by quickly recalling words and phrases is super valuable. The drills and exercises following the audio lessons are sort of fun and do a good job of helping you review. Not to mention, the user interface is super easy to use. There's just a lot to like here. Sure, I do have a few minor grievances with the program, but all in all, I think Pimsleur is a highly effective program that should get the job done for pretty much anyone looking to gain an elementary to intermediate understanding of Spanish. Plus, at only $20 per month, it's pretty affordable. So all things considered, I would have no problem recommending Pimsleur. They receive very high marks from me. And that's all I've got for you. Again, I hope this was helpful and you learned a little something. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. And if you want to see that full detailed written review of the Pimsleur Spanish course that I talked about at the top, make sure to jump on over our website, testprepinsight.com, as well as check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. Those are really helpful as well. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and hasta luego.